Hello friends, welcome to Tuesday's lesson. This is Dwain again, and we are in this week looking at the Nations Part 2, and today we look at Daniel 7. Yesterday we looked at Daniel 2, in which Nebuchadnezzar received a vision of a statue demonstrating kingdoms that would rise and fall throughout the course of human history. But in Daniel 7, God shows his servant now, not the Gentile king, but his servant, God's person, the same content but from a different perspective. In Daniel chapter 7, let's read verses 1 to 3. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head while on his bed. Then he wrote down the dream, telling the main facts. Daniel spoke, saying, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven were stirring up the great sea, and four great beasts come up from the sea, each different from the other. So Daniel sees these winds, four winds. You know, the Bible speaks of the four angels at the four corners of the earth holding the winds of strife. Daniel sees winds blowing from four corners of the planet, and the sea churns up, and then he sees four beasts coming out of the water. Can you imagine? That's quite a dream. That might be a nightmare. That would be quite disturbing. Daniel sees this ocean of turmoil from a land of peace, but the beasts are coming onto the land where he is. It's a powerful symbol in this week's lesson, in this day's lesson, and it is that when God's people are disobedient, we give up our autonomy, we give up our safety, and sin encroaches upon our lives. What happens to the people of God? Because Israel was not faithful, because Israel wanted other gods and other kings, because Israel wanted what the world had, the world now enters in with what they want. The people of God are no longer autonomous, and throughout history, after the Babylonian captivity, they are acted upon by nations outside of them, nations beyond them. They are no longer autonomous, and that is the case for God's people even today. God never intended for us to be under the thumb and under the whim and will of capricious dictators and leaders who don't know God. However benevolent they might be, many of them, sooner or later, do things that are at odds with who God is and who we are. It was never God's will that we should be that way. In fact, if you go on through to Romans chapter 3, verses 10 to 19, Paul sums it up very powerfully. There is none righteous, no, not even one. There is none who understands. There is none who seeks for God. All have turned aside. Together they have become useless. There is none who does good. There is not even one. It's a pretty damning indictment of human beings. It means that we are sinful, that we're broken, and even our best righteousness is but filthy rags. But then verse 19 says this, now we may know that whatever the law says, it speaks to those who are under the law, so that every mouth may be closed and all the world may become accountable to God. The law indicts us all. We are accountable to God for our behavior. And no matter what kind of dreams or visions we have about how great these kingdoms are, or these people are, or these nations are, we're all broken, all in need of a Savior. And God is calling all of us higher. God bless you today.